question is if you should make a special diet the whole life and take supplements the whole life to keep your healthiness, or if it's possible to live healthy without a special diet and without supplements. So this depends on your type, on your constitution, and it depends on your way of life. If you are someone who has time, who has no stress, who has a good constitution, a strong constitution, and no complaints, no special complaints and no chronic diseases, and if you have time to move enough the whole day, then normally it's not so important what you eat, and it's not necessary to take special supplements normally. You must know that the main aim for a healthy lifestyle is how to eat and not what to eat, and to move enough and to have no stress. But if you have stress, if you if your life velocity is double or 3 times faster than normal, if you have no time for moving or no possibility for moving, then you must take care more, and you have to take some supplements sometimes which support your healthiness and can compensate your unhealthy way of life. Which supplements you need will be recommended by your medical doctor, because it depends also on some blood examinations and your complaints and diseases. But especially in the case of diet, I want to tell you that it's more important how you eat than what you eat. So you have to eat slowly and chew well, and you have to produce enough saliva. Why is it important? If you eat too fast, you cannot digest, or you cannot pre-digest your food in the mouth, and the intestine will have problems to digest it in the right way. So you get fermentation, and you produce some toxins in your intestine which make problems for the liver and for all organs which don't function so well anymore. We made many research about these things, and we saw that alcohols and also other toxins which provoke cancer and inflammations are produced if the food is not eaten in the right way, it is not chewed very well, and is not digested enough in the intestine. Also, your microbiome will become a problem, and you get the wrong microbes in the colon, which can cause many diseases from depression, schizophrenia, dementia, diabetes mellitus, cancer, kidney stones, and many other things if you give them the wrong meal, because it was not digested enough in the upper part of the intestine. So it's very important to eat slowly and to chew well. And also a very important bacteria in the colon needs saliva to survive, and if you don't produce enough saliva because you don't chew enough, this bacteria will die, and then you get irritated colon and inflammations in the whole digestion system. So eat slowly and chew well, and try to digest everything in the mouth so that the digestive systems have it easier to digest in deeper parts of the colon and of the intestine. The next step is that you must eat in a relaxed situation without stress, because if you have stress, you cannot digest very well. The digestion system is switched off if you have stress and you don't produce enough enzymes, and this causes also mild digestion syndrome. This means the food can be fermented and becomes poison. So these are the main things. Then another rule which you have to consider all the time is that you should not eat raw food in the evening. Salad and fruits in the evening are very difficult to digest, and during the night the digestion system is switched off and you get again fermentation. And if you think that cows, for example, have 4 stomachs to digest raw food, and they eat slowly the whole day in the landscape outside, and we want to eat it very fast and with only 1 stomach and without cellulose in our digestion system, and so it's difficult for us to digest. It's healthy, but you must eat slowly and not in the evening, the raw food. The same is for fruit juice. Fruit juice has much fructose, and fructose makes you fat and makes also a fat liver, and cannot be burned in the cells, and can also be fermented, and you are bloated in your belly, and you produce too much gas. This is not very comfortable. And if you have this fermentation, your liver has to work in the night, and then you wake up between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, and you have sleeping disorders because of a liver problem caused by fermentation because you didn't eat in the right way. The only food you should avoid is the fat of porks, because pork fat contains much arachidonic acid, and arachidonic acid makes inflammation in your body, and as I told you, inflammation is the main reason for nearly all civilization diseases: heart attack, brain stroke, diabetes mellitus, rheumatism, irritated bowel disease, cancer, high blood pressure, and so on. So you should not eat sausages with pork fat, for example, and other pork fat meals. All other things are more or less healthy, but it depends on the dosage. So please think about the fact that fat is not so, the other fats, vegetarian fat mainly are not so bad. Most of them are healthy, especially olive oil, linseed oil, walnut oil, but also other vegetarian oils. Also butter is healthy because it contains butter acid, butyrate, and this is a very good nutrition for the enterocytes of the colon and of the intestine, the cells of the colon and intestine mucosa. And butter also has vitamin E and other good things. But it depends also there on the dosage. If you eat only butter, it's not so good, you know. But you should diminish the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates, and especially sweet things, provoking diabetes mellitus and also irritations of the colon and inflammations. And it's not so good to eat too much carbohydrates like bread and potatoes and rice and so on. You can eat it, but not too much normally. If you are not allowed to eat carbohydrates in the near future, this will tell you your doctor. This is against special diseases, but not a common rule. Yeah? Anyhow, so if you eat slowly, if you chew well, if you eat in a relaxed way, if you don't eat too late in the evening, or if you make dinner canceling sometimes, this means you avoid eating in the evening, for example 2 or 3 times a week, you are on the right way with your diet. And the most important is that you enjoy your eating, your meal, and that it tastes very well, and it's a pleasure for you to eat. And if it's a pleasure for you, it's not only something you make very fast and beneath working. If you have pleasure with eating, you will enjoy it and you will eat slowly. And this is very important. And the French people celebrate it nearly every day, and that's the reason why the French people have the lightest weight of all Europeans and don't have so many heart diseases. Yeah? Even they are drinking much red wine and they eat fat, but slowly, and they enjoy it. And if you can combine these eating habits and moving enough in the aerobe situation, so that you are not in an anaerobe situation where you produce acid, and if you have not too much stress, you will have a very healthy life. But if you need support because you are a weak human being and you are ill from time to time and you have not the power for your life, not enough power for your life, then you also can take supplements. The most important supplement you need is magnesium. It helps to relax the muscles and to strengthen your immune system. Then you must take care of your vitamin D. Vitamin D is not only important for the bones, it's also important against inflammations, against cancer, against high cholesterol and heart attack and atherosclerosis and all these things. So check your vitamin D in your blood, and if it's in the lower range or if it's too low, you have to supplement the vitamin D. It's easy because there are drops and or capsules, and if it's not possible to increase your vitamin D by taking vitamin D, you have to take additional vitamin K2. This helps you to resorb the vitamin D. And next supplement, which is sometimes important, is zinc. If you have diabetes mellitus type 2, or if you have problems with your skin, or if your nails are breaking and you lose hair and so on, or if your wounds are not healing well of the skin, then you need zinc. It's also good for the immune system, and many people have not enough zinc in their tissue and in their body. But this should be checked by the medical doctor, because you can also take too much zinc and this is poison. There are people who have a very weak digestion system. They cannot produce enough ferments and enzymes. They also have often a dry skin, a low blood pressure, cold hands, cold feet, and they have a problem to digest heavy or food which is not so easy to digest. So maybe these people are not allowed to eat raw food generally, not only in the evening, also during the day. And you must know that it's not necessary to eat salad and fruits, unboiled salad and fruits, because you have enough vitamins and minerals also in boiled vegetables. These people who have a weak digestion system can have good support by taking enzymes, for example, which help them to support the digestion system and to add enzymes which they cannot produce enough themselves. And so you always have to look how is the constitution of the people, which complaints and diseases do they have, and you cannot say generally you must take these supplements or you must not take supplements. So I hope I could explain you some things. Normally healthy life is not difficult, but you should take care of these key rules I told you, and then it would be easier for you to be healthy and to keep your healthiness and to avoid complaints and chronic civilization diseases. Thank you.